This is the Gocycle, and I'm looking at the Generation 2 here in America. It's 2015, and they've actually been around in Europe for quite a while. The first generation was launched around 2009, second generation 2012, and so they've really refined this thing, and my goodness, there's so much to say about it. There's just tons of technology packed into it and very refined. The first thing I noticed was just how light it is. I was weighing the one without the fenders and all these extra accessories a moment ago, and it's about 36 pounds, so that's phenomenal. You know, it's the kind of bike that you can pick up, you can, put your shoulder under this and carry it around. It also folds, and I'm gonna show that later. It's really compact. The wheels come off. They've got these really cool quick release, like tri things. They're interchangeable if you want to. The tire size is really cool. It's a little bit wider. So these are 20 inches by 2.25. Again, a little bit more cushion there. Got the nice reflective sidewall. Comes in a few different colors. Got gloss white over here, matte black, and then there's kind of a gloss gray. That's really cool. You're thinking about folding and transporting something like this. They do have a couple different options for that. One is it's kind of a travel version with folding pedals, and it's got a kind of a bag, and it's amazing how compact it gets when you're doing that. So this is something you could put on a boat. Maybe you could take it with you across the country for all kinds of different experiences, and you're going to be able to, of course, ride a little bit more efficiently. Go further, climb a little bit easier. That's the dream of an electric bike, but something like this, I guess it takes cycling a little bit further because you don't have to think as much. Like, the bike responds to you in several key ways. One is that it automatically shifts gears. It has like a Shimano Nexus internally geared hub and sort of a custom design back here. So you really can't even, if we look at this from the other side, like the chain and everything is kind of hidden. It's very clean, it's tight, and all the shifting is happening right in there, right internally. And then there's a motor up at the front. Okay, so it's balanced. You've got good weight distribution. The battery is built into that kind of a down tube, top tube combination that's going on here. This is magnesium for these rims and for the casing. Very cool stuff. That's not something you see everywhere. It's extremely, very custom, and it provides that lightweight and that performance we were talking about. You're not going to worry about spokes getting bent or anything like that. They're really tough, but again, fairly lightweight. You can see through here there's a nice hydraulic disc brake going on. Kind of neat to see something like that. I think it's like 138 millimeters on the front and rear, so those are matching as well. Got the nice levers up here, really easy to actuate, just a finger or two, a little bell. So there's good safety stuff built in, especially if you go with these extra options. Got a rear light, kind of integrated, front light. This is like Lumotech, so very bright, Bush and Moeller. And then this nice rubber, kind of almost like a coating. At first I was like, oh, is this suspension or what is this? But it just, as you adjust this to find the right size, you'll notice that the seat post here kind of angles a little bit more. So that's going to extend your reach. If you're someone who's a little taller, you tend to have longer arms. So the whole thing is designed to be kind of like a one size fits all, but it's very thoughtfully engineered. It's not just like one of those bikes that folds in half and you're done. It's just the way that this folds, it's incredibly unique. And here are the fenders I was talking about a moment ago. So everything here, I guess the point I'm trying to make is it's easy to fold, it feels really well protected, and then there's just this next level technology that's kind of cool to see. And I guess I wanted to point out this lock too. This is kind of a cafe version of the lock. They have another one. And then the kickstand, I was trying to kick it backwards. You actually have to kind of kick it forward. Sorry, you didn't really get to see that, but you can see how it's stowed up like that. And you use your foot to kind of kick it down. So just really interesting, really neat to see this. I'm gonna hit some of the specs real quick. We've got a planetary geared hub motor in the front, really small, kind of a minimalist thing here. And I don't know if these are blades, they might be for heat dissipation. 500 watt nominal. I mean, that's really high rating given how small and compact this thing is. It's geared, you do hear it when you're going, but of course that's what gives you the power for climbing and starting. That's really awesome. The battery pack that's in here, I think they use Panasonic cells. It's some of the highest grade technology that's out there. 24 volt, 10 amp hour, and it is removable, although it's not the kind that you're really supposed to remove a lot. There's just like a kind of a hex wrench style there, and you can pull it out, or you charge it right here too. It's kind of a folding lightweight bike, so the idea is you bring it in, store it away from the elements and stuff, and you can charge it right there inside. So that is awesome. Again, 3 speeds. It does have electronic shifting here that you can press. So we can see there's 3 LED lights there. If I go up to 3, I can hear it in the back happening. and when I stop for a few seconds, it automatically shifts back to level 1. So the idea is that you could be going at a higher speed, up to 20 miles per hour in the US, actually up to 25. You can kind of unlock it with the app. It gives you a warning about legality. You get 25 miles per hour or whatever, 20, and you come to a stop. You're probably pedaling in the third, in the highest gear, and you don't want to start in the highest gear. You're gonna have to stand up and work hard, so it automatically shifts down for you. Very cool. And then you've got a couple of different modes. There's like an eco mode. It requires you to get up to a little bit of a higher speed before the pedal assist kicks in. And then there's a city mode. That one kicks in a little more quickly. It's gonna make it easier for you, but it's gonna cut down your range. And the range on this, it really depends on how you ride it. There's also a throttle that you can kind of activate here or deactivate. I use that to get going. I had to go about 4 miles per hour. It's kind of a safety thing, but then you just hold down that little rubber button there, the red button, and it takes off. So there's really a lot of readouts here that are going on, but essentially in the middle, it's the gear that you're in. And then over here, it can be kind of your battery level. And when you're riding, it actually shows like the current, like how much power the bike is putting into it versus you. So you can kind of monitor that and reach those the higher range, whether it's 40 or 45 miles per charge. So very cool stuff. I'm actually here with the founder and CEO of this company, Richard Thorpe. How's it going, Richard?
Not too bad.
Yeah,
Not too bad.
And you have an incredible background. You were what was the car company that we were talking about?
I left McLaren Cars in 2002.
McLaren Cars. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
There's a reason I don't know what that company is called. I can't afford those cars, but they're awesome, and it's neat to see kind of just the high quality level coming into the world of bicycles. This is a really efficient way to just get from place A to place B efficiently and in style too.
Absolutely, and with fun.
Yeah, of course, that's fun. Exercise. You want to look as good as your bicycle or your car. You got to get out there and pedal a little bit. And I've had a fun time moving this around. I felt like I could maybe go in depth with you on a couple of these points. I've done my best to hit all of it, but maybe I should cap it off by saying $49.99 is kind of the base price, and then you can pay $5,400 if you want that commuter package. You have any input on the fenders and lights and the locks? Can you name off some of the other accessories?
Yeah, so our commuter pack comes with mud guards and the lighting kit, which is the top of the line Bausch & Muller German lights.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. They run off the main battery pack. Easy to switch on.
Yeah, it's just like a nice little click switch right there.
Yeah.
Nice and low. Oh,
and when you fold the product, there's attention to detail here with the light that comes down, so it doesn't break off if it's in the travel bag. This is coffee shop security lock. We also offer a much more secure lock if you have an insurance policy, and that sits on the side of the frame here, nice and discreetly.
Huh. We talked about folding a moment ago. It'd be cool to see this fold, but before that, I wanted to point out that this arm right here, this piece, that's actually suspension. So the first time I saw this, I was like, it's a smaller wheel size. You got the larger tires, which provide some cushion. But if you're riding a long distance, it's nice to have a little bit more ergonomic.
Yeah, our tires are the top of the line racing tires. They're developed by Gocycle. The tread is Gocycle's design. The wheels are actually the fastest wheels in the world. They set the world HPV speed record of 83 miles an hour.
Wow.
So if you have suspension and very high pressure tires, you roll very nicely and you still preserve your comfort.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So there is a little bit of travel. Can you push down on that and show us the... There we go. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Nice to have a little bit of travel right there. And then the bottom bracket is such an interesting design. Can you talk about that?
Yes, absolutely. The reason it's that size is because that's the way the product folds.
Look at that.
That also provides access for the battery if you're going to remove the battery for service or take it out.
Yeah, that's awesome. Would you mind showing me the wheels? Because that was another piece that was really revolutionary here, that you can just take the wheel right off.
Yeah, the pit stop wheels are a key innovation with the Gocycle. There's not a product in the world that you can do that on the rear wheel without getting greasy hands.
Wow.
And that's made possible by the patented clean drive system. It's a monocoque design, injection molded in magnesium.
This is also so like all the parts are...
Yes, absolutely. It's an injection molded process which gives much better grain properties strength properties than die casting. It's also very environmentally friendly. It doesn't produce any
Hey,
SF6.
I'm glad you thought about that. Yeah, that's good stuff.
No SF6 ozone depleting gas.
Huh. Okay, cool. And both wheels, again, they're kind of interchangeable that way. They have the quick release. I mean, that's really cool. I already talked about sizing. Do you have anything to say about the saddle? I noticed that it's kind of got this like breathing sort of a fabric pattern on it.
Yeah, I mean, saddle's a very important part of a product, and this saddle over the years has produced the fewest negative responses, and that is a fantastic saddle.
Yeah, that's great. That's great to see. I did my best to talk about all of the different features in here, and it's neat to get to hang out with the founder of a company and get feedback in real time. Is there anything that you feel like you want to add?
Absolutely. The Gocycle, important part about the Gocycle is that we talk about it as an automotive design play.
Yeah.
And what that means is, in a car, you don't find that the engine is produced by a certain supplier and the wheels are branded in a different color or with a different brand in the seats and the chassis. Everything is designed and developed to work together by one company, and that's what you get with Gocycle. We've developed the frame, the wheels, even the tires, the seat post, the saddle. Even our brakes are a bit customized.
Yeah.
The motor system, the control system, we've developed all the PCBs and electronic. It just goes on.
Can you point that stuff out too? Because I mean, it's like, where do you fit everything? So I know the motor's here in the front wheel.
Yeah. If you look at an F1 car or a racing car, and you peel away the carbon fiber body shell, you will see it's just packed in there with technology, and that's what you see with the Gocycle. If you x-ray this product, on a normal bicycle you might see a lot of hollow parts, but not on a Gocycle. There is no space in there. The battery pack is inside here, all the cables are inside.
Where's the controller?
The controller is very close to the motor and heat sink to the fork, so it's inside the fork.
Heat sink, so it actually uses the fork as kind of a dissipation. Can you call this, there's only one side, it's like a knife.
Yeah, single-sided design gives you the access of the wheels on both sides.
Okay, and we got the battery. You were going to point up here. What's going on?
Yeah, so we've got cables and hydraulic lines running up through the
internally routed
the stem here. This is height adjustment. There's your height adjustment. Up top here we have the PCB, which is
printed circuit board, right, with the LEDs.
Exactly, yeah. So it's Formula One inspired, like the steering wheel on a Formula One car. This gives you your battery state of charge. This is your gear you're in. Over here will come your speed when you're traveling, and when you've got the motor on, this will change to an efficiency meter.
And what's over here? I saw those light up.
That's an indication of how fast you're going. Speed.
Okay, so the battery stays while you're riding, and then this...
Yes, speed comes over this side, and the battery turns into efficiency. When the motor's running.
I want to show people the electronic shifting. Can you do that while I'm back here again?
Sure.
Yeah. So that's happening in here, and again, it is a chain.
Yes.
And it's able to stay super tight and clean.
Belts are required to be super tight, which is not that efficient.
Yeah.
The chain is running with a spring tensioner, which allows the chain to be at the operating optimum tension. It's a roller chain, which is the most efficient way to transfer power from the pedals to the rear.
Yeah.
Maintenance free, it's like a washing machine.
Yeah.
High mileage. If you took off the clean drive cover, after high miles you find your chain all clear. Okay,
so with water, and again, people who might use this on a boat, if it gets like splashed or something, it's designed to keep the components in fairly good shape. And I said tight. Maybe what I was thinking is a lot of times you have a mountain bike or something, and you've got the chain and it's slapping and it's making noise and it's chipping the frame. This is all concealed and it's relatively tight or whatever, but you're using the high quality stuff. So this is what the app looks like. That's our bike right there, and there's actually a kind of a license plate technology on this thing, so there's some like theft detection. If someone gets your bike and they try to connect the app, they can zoom in and see where it is. So that's great that they've got that built right in. Battery level, got firmware, trip odometer, calories burned, miles remaining, all that stuff. And these are the modes I was talking about: city versus eco. City, you're not going to have to push quite as hard to exert yourself the same way for the motor to kick in. But you're going to burn through the battery a little bit quicker. And then eco, of course, there's on demand and custom. That there's you can really do quite a bit for this. here's the kind of the back end, what it looks like. You can adjust those higher speeds. So in Europe, it's going to be that 15.5 miles per hour, 25 kilometers per hour. And then you can dial it up if you want to, but you get the warning like, hey, this is for off-road use. And then there's the pedal on, pedal off, pedaling required. So in Europe, you have to be pedaling in order to sort of actuate a throttle, whereas in America, you do not. But they do have the 4 mile per hour speed limiter, and that's for safety. So you have to be going 4 miles per hour, and then you can press on that throttle, hold it down, and you get your speed going. You know, we've been real thorough, and I appreciate your help with this. I usually do this, you know, kind of on my own, but it's nice to get the little extra touch. It's obviously a high quality piece of machinery here. I'd love to go take it out. I'm gonna ride around a little bit in the parking lot and show it off. Is that cool?
Absolutely.
Right?
Great.
Yeah, thank you, Richard.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm not able to do this very often, but check this out. I got the bike. I'm actually walking downstairs, just carrying it. That's what we were talking about. Super light. Kind of neat to be able to do that. I'm gonna try to hop into this busy parking lot and cruise around a little bit. We'll just set it down, and here we go. We're off. You can hear the motor. You know, but it freewheels, it's efficient, it's lightweight, that's the key. Feels pretty comfortable, you know, for kind of like a compact design like this, kind of a folding design. And that suspension, I'm definitely digging that. So this is the battery right now, but as soon as I start pedaling, now it switches to power output. The more power that the motor puts out, the higher that goes. And here's speed right here. And here is the gear that I'm in. I can shift up if I want to. Well, I think that's about it. It's been fun to test this thing. It's awesome to get to meet the founder, you know, hear a little bit of backstory, especially on such a complex, just like refined bike like this. For the full write-up on the Gocycle, again, this is G2 2015. I'll see you back at ElectricBikeReview.com. I have pictures and everything. And maybe you own this bike and you live in Europe, and you know, it's since 2012, right? It's very similar. Feel free to chime in, share your experience and thoughts on it, and you know, ride safe.